tell me, Floyd Shivambu, what can you possibly sell to China? What will they honestly need to buy from us that they can't make for themselves? What will you sell to the large Chinese market that they do not or cannot produce for themselves?
President Zuma has given us a compass as South Africa, as a people, that this is the direction that we must go.
我们给产线安装了数字大脑，生产效率来提高了30%，损耗降低了10%。通过这些技术创新，今年以来，我们的销售额突破了1亿元。
So South Africa should intensify its relationship with the BRICS countries, must utilize this 90-day period to now look for alternate markets.
According to Chinese government data, China's textile and garment exports hit $293.6 billion in 2023, making it the world's largest garment exporter.
We have got sustainable friendships that started when President Zuma was head of state and president, with Brazil, with Russia, with China, with India. That group of countries constitute almost 40% of the global population. That is a very huge market.
今年以来，我们本地660户服装加工企业通过设备改造和技术创新后，销售额已突破22亿元。
These technological innovations are now being pushed out across the country.
The only things that they will need from us are in the ground, the minerals in the ground or the agricultural produce. That's it. And guys, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't put it past the Chinese to start creating some synthetic minerals useful for their factories. They could do this instead of relying on African raw minerals. And you know what the worst part of all of this is? South Africa is not the sole producer of raw minerals. They can procure these from other nations, not just South Africa. China has already destroyed the textile industries in South Africa.
This is manufacturing employment in South Africa from 2008 to 2001 first quarter, and really the last few quarters we've created a few jobs but not too many. We've gone from employing about 2 million people to around 1.7 million people. We've lost about 300,000 jobs in manufacturing. The South African economy today is significantly bigger than what it was before the recession, but we haven't grown jobs, as we can see here. And not only that, the problem is it's been built on debt and consumption. So the supply side of the economy has been absolutely neglected. And that's where manufacturing has fallen down. Mainly because of imports, and mainly because of imports from Southeast Asia. Not only China, but predominantly China, but also Vietnam and other incentivized low-cost countries have killed our jobs. And this is another point where you're not seeing enough in the media about the threat of China and what it's doing to jobs. This is why I was so angry, and I really was angry with the Freedom Foundation's comments that actually it's very good to have cheap imports into this country. Because when you look at this decoupling, it's incredibly worrying. Imports and exports were more or less balanced last year, even though it was still, the economy was sluggish. But here we've seen a massive deviation where imports have exceeded exports. At the moment, China is exporting unemployment. It's due to a number of factors. Obviously, they have a number of unfair incentives.
Sindim Kalipi is one of many facing possible job cuts in South Africa's embattled clothing manufacturing industry. The only employed person in her family of 7, she makes $34 a week ironing clothes. We earn very little, she tells me, but at least I can buy a pack of maize meal, some chicken pieces and a bus ticket. It's better than not earning anything at all. In a country with a staggering 36% unemployment rate, she's still one of the lucky ones. But that might not be for long.
They are not reaching the target we set.
Her boss, Alex Liu, says he's struggling to compete with Chinese imports. Ironically, he and about 45 or so members of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which he heads, came to South Africa a decade ago to exploit business opportunities. Now, he says, many of them are battling to stay afloat.
Some manufacturers that have come under extreme pressure now face the very real threat of closure. It's a reality that seems to have reignited. Thanks so much, Renato, for joining us this afternoon. Well, share with us your perspective on the situation on the ground at the moment and the realities that South Africa's textile industry currently has to contend with.
Afternoon, Alicia. Yes. a lot is going on in the industry, a lot of retrenchment, debate. Is it a sunset industry, or we see the disintegration of the industry? There's a lot of concern about it for numerous reasons as well. And these are the reasons, or the same reasons that come up year after year, and that is cheaper imports. Can we in South Africa compete on a global stage? Is our labour skilled enough, or is South African major retail chain stores supporting the local industry?
It contributes 3.3% to its gross domestic product, but it has been hit by cheap imports, now shedding jobs and shuttering factories.
He's been in the clothing industry for over 50 years, and now he owns this Cape Town garment factory. But for Christopher Kinross, staying open is a fight. He's battling cheap Chinese imports from one side and international fast fashion brands like Zara and H&M on the other. Smuggling is another challenge. The Clothing and Textile Workers Union estimates almost half of all clothes are imported illegally to avoid taxes. And in the last 20 years, the industry shed around 2/3 of jobs. But in an effort to stem the tide, the government has been offering grants and loans.